So school just around the corner, parents wondering, okay, what's the deal this year as far as COVID goes? New regulations in place. What's the government going to mandate? Olivier DROUIN is creator of COVID Ecoles Quebec, a wonderful resource that lets parents with kids in school know exactly what's going on. We haven't spoken in a while, Olivier, so I thought we'd catch up today because if I read this right, I think Quebec Public Health is now saying they will not recommend that masks should be mandated for students and staff when school resumes. Am I right on that? Is that the case?
Yes, hi. Pleasure to be on. So, yes, that's the information we got through a conference from Dr. Boileau in the last few weeks, and I think journalists also confirmed it with the Ministry of Education. So far as masks or any individual measures that they call, there would be none. So we will go back to school for the first time with no measures. So when you look at 2020, schools were closed, then we had mandatory mask cohorts, distancing, TTI, a lot of tracking, and we're going now towards the very first back to school with no individual measure, but yet still in the pandemic and probably a second pandemic with monkeypox.
How does our current situation at this stage of the game compare to last year or the year before in terms of heading into the fall? Where are we at with COVID?
It's the first time that we have a summer wave, so we've never been in a situation, like call it, even though the wave is maybe tempering off a little bit right now, but it's plateaued. But even so, it's the first time in history that we have a summer wave, so there's more, the virus is circulating even more. I would say we're more blind than we've ever been in terms of knowing the exact number of cases, outbreaks, because there's less data available to track it. Mm-hmm. There's obviously COVID and pandemic fatigue, less attention and people wanting to hear about the COVID. So I think it's all the ingredients for not good news if you're going to go back to school with no additional measures.
Well, so we talked a lot last year, I guess, about what they're going to put in as far as filtration systems are concerned. We know some school boards, the EMSB, for example, doing this on their own because the government wasn't. What's new there?
We have, again, I personally had to do an access to information request in order to get this information, but some of the schools, as you said, are acting, but we don't have the whole picture of across Quebec in the over 48,000 classes, who and how many installs have been done in terms of air purifiers. We suspect almost zero, but at least changing the filtration system, improving air quality. If we have to do something for this return to school, I would tell parents, make air quality a priority. Like, get involved, talk to your school boards, PTA meetings, any way you can, even lobby your MNA for the upcoming elections, but air quality and ventilation needs to be top of mind for the back to school this year.
You know, I'm hearing you say parents have to take that responsibility, obviously, as you're suggesting, themselves, because the government is not doing it. But the government made a promise, did they not, to have that many schools with systems ready to go for the fall?
Oh, that was last year. That actually might have even been the year before, Aaron. Come on.
Seriously, do we know?
You're getting it through my tone is that I want parents to be empowered to be asking for this and demanding this because exactly the results are not there. The Minister Robert has spoken about this topic at length, but has not acted, and the results are not there. And it's our kids' health, and not just the kids, also the teachers and every personnel working in schools, that it's their health that's at stake. So we have a vested interest in getting vocal about this issue.
So the government has, as we just mentioned, made it clear, Dr. Luc Boileau, there will be no mask mandates in the back to school this fall. Any other directives in terms of precautions or guidance for back to school, or even having to do with vaccinations, Olivier?
No, actually, that story is not as good. So the 0 to 4 years old vaccination was open a couple of weeks ago, and there's only 1% of that population that's vaccinated. I think the best age group is the 12 to 17, which at least have 2 and sometimes 3 doses. But the 5 to 11, if you look in Montreal, it's only 40 to 50% that have both doses. And so needless to say, they don't have the third or the fourth one. So vaccination is not a good news story. Of course, it's the first back to school where we have vaccines available across age groups. Mm-hmm. So that's a positive. but yet not every parent and children are getting access to it, and there's disparities, as I said in numerous interviews in the past, when you look at the geography. So if you look in Montreal, by borough and by age group, there's disparities there or differences.
Well, I guess we'll be talking to you more in the upcoming weeks, Olivier. I hope you've had a good summer vacation, because I think it's going to be rock and roll this fall.
Well, you know what? I had a great summer vacation. I participated in festivals. I know you did as well, Natasha, because I saw your Instagram. But my point is that I did attend indoor shows with an N95. So you can continue living with the virus if you protect yourself with masks. And I think we should, even if the government is not going to make the mask mandatory back to school, as parents, we should educate our kids on the benefits of having the mask in class, communicate, explain, depending on the age group for sure, but wear those masks. That's what you control. And you can also propose to do Corsi Rosento, those do-it-yourself air purifier boxes that some schools have done. That's also a great idea.
Advice. Olivier, thank you so much. It's always good chatting with you. We very much appreciate it. Keep up the good work.
Thank you.
Olivier DROUIN, COVID École Quebec is the website. And there you go. Parents, you need to take that initiative on your own. Don't wait for the government to step in, because they haven't.